If you're a creator of any kind, you already know that free stock photos are an absolute game changer. I mean, sites like Unsplash, Pexels, and Pixabay have totally transformed how we work, right? They give us access to millions of gorgeous professional images without having to spend a single dime. It's just an incredible resource for bringing our ideas to life.
And this motto from Unsplash, it really says it all. Do whatever you want. That's the promise, isn't it? Total creative freedom. It's simple, it's powerful, and it's the idea that has pulled millions of us in. It sounds so straightforward, so safe, but you know what they say about things that sound too good to be true?
Yeah, because it is. That simple, wonderful promise is dangerously misleading. And if you follow it blindly, you could land yourself in a world of legal trouble you absolutely never saw coming.
Okay, so let's back up for a second and talk about why we love this promise so much. The appeal of these sites is just massive. They completely reinvented the stock photo industry, giving us this amazing alternative to crazy expensive agencies or time-consuming custom photo shoots.
I mean, think about it. For any of us, especially if you're on a budget or a crazy deadline, these benefits are huge. You get instant access to this massive library of incredible images that can make your website, your social media, your blog posts, whatever it is, look super professional. It saves you time, it saves you money, and it helps you build credibility. It's really no wonder we've all come to depend on them so much.
But what happens when that promise of free to use isn't exactly the whole story? This is where things get really, really complicated, and it's where your fun creative project can suddenly turn into a legal nightmare. Okay, so this right here, this is the core misunderstanding that gets so many people into trouble. When a photographer uploads a picture to a free site, they are only giving away the rights that they own, which is the copyright to that specific photograph. They literally cannot give away the rights to other things that just happen to be in the photo. Think about it, the rights to a person's face or a privately owned building or a company's logo, those belong to other people entirely. For a photo to be truly safe to use, especially for business, you need signed releases for all these potential rights. And here's the real kicker. Free sites like Unsplash and Pexels almost never ever collect or verify these releases. They basically just trust the photographer, which means the legal risk, the legal burden. It all falls on you, the person using the photo. And this really gets to the heart of it. The platforms themselves take zero responsibility. This comment sums it up perfectly. If that photo you used ends up getting somebody sued, the platform is not going to have your back. You are 100% on your own.
Now, I know that sounds absolutely terrifying, but the goal here is not to panic. You can protect yourself. So let's turn that anxiety into action with a super simple 5-point safety check you can use for every single free photo from now on.
Okay, before you hit download on anything, just mentally run through these 5 questions. First, is the license still good? Go check the original source. Second, how are you using it? Is it for commercial purposes? Third, if it is, do you see any people or private property or big brands in there that would need a release? Fourth, and this is so important, just assume those releases have not been collected. And finally, do a quick scan for any other logos or art that might be copyrighted.
That second question from our checklist is really key. Defining commercial use. So what does that actually mean? Well, it's probably broader than you think. If you're using an image to promote anything that makes money, a blog post with ads, a social media campaign for your business, t-shirts, you name it, that's commercial use. And that's exactly when the legal risks go way, way up.
To really see why this vigilance is so important, let's just look at the pioneer of that whole do whatever you want idea, Unsplash. Its story is basically the perfect case study of how the promise of free has changed and gotten a lot more complicated over time.
So Unsplash started out as this really open, cool project with photos in the public domain. But then in 2017, they brought in their own, more restrictive license. Then, and this was a big shock to a lot of people, they were bought by Getty Images, which is like the definition of a traditional corporate stock photo giant. And pretty soon after that, bam, they launched Unsplash Plus, a paid subscription. The whole landscape just fundamentally shifted.
And, this didn't just affect the users. It really deeply impacted the photographers who built the platform from the ground up. This comment from a former contributor just captures that feeling of betrayal perfectly. These artists gave their work away for free to a community, only to watch it get absorbed into this massive commercial machine.
And yet, despite all the changes, the library just keeps on growing.
We're talking from over 3 million photos in 2021 to over 5 million by 2023. That is a staggering number of images, and every single one of them carries potential risks that most people downloading them are completely unaware of. So, why does all this matter so much? Well, let's just imagine for a second. You use a free photo of a person on your website's homepage. A year goes by. Then you get a letter from a lawyer. Turns out that person never signed a model release, and now they're suing your business for using their face to sell stuff. A single copyright case can cost up to $2 million. The stakes are just incredibly high. Okay, so after all of that, what's the big takeaway here? Look, the goal is not to scare you away from ever using stock photos again. Not at all. It's to empower you, to give you the knowledge to use them safely and with confidence.
It really all comes down to this one simple but really powerful idea. Free does not mean risk-free. The convenience is amazing, but it can't make us complacent. You have to be your own legal watchdog.
So let's just quickly recap the most crucial points. Number 1, a photographer can only give away their own copyright. Number 2, the legal responsibility for everything else in that photo, that lands squarely on your shoulders. Number 3, use that 5-point safety check every single time. And finally, the safest bet of all, when in doubt, just stick to images that don't have any of these issues. Beautiful landscapes, cool abstract textures, anything where there are no identifiable people, no private property, and no brands.
And that really is the big question, isn't it? Now that you can see this hidden legal minefield, you also have the map to get through it safely. This isn't about creating with fear, it's about creating with knowledge. So, how is this going to change the way you choose your next image?